91X, it's Marty and Danielle, the Beer Queen, in the studio this morning. Good morning, Beer Queen.
Good morning, Marty.
Online, John Gourley of Portugal, the man.
Good morning, John.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. Where are you at right now?
Nashville.
Fun.
We have not been. It's one of the destinations we want to go check out in our next summer vacations. Where should we go if we hit Nashville up, John? What do you know?
Hattie B's, we get some chicken, chill out here. I mean, honestly, like, Bonnaroo. Yeah, I love Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo was the first big open air festival that we've ever played. There were so many nerves. 2009, I believe it was. And there were all these storms that rolled in. And Delta Spirit's plane got delayed, so they missed the flight. And they missed their set. So we ended up having like an hour and a half to set up, get ready, sound check, and be really prepared and shake. Like, I have a lot of anxiety, stage anxiety. And we got to shake a lot of that before going on stage. And it was like this really epic performance of our band. Yeah. And guys, I have to tell you, like, they used to give you these like burned DVDs like after your set. And we had this little TV in our van that we had like the inverter hooked up, and we had power there, and we watched this performance. And our Bonnaroo performance was the first time we ever put on any recording of our performances and said, are we a real band? Does this sound like a band? Like, I think it sounds like a band. Because there was no goal of ever being like a professional band. Like, we just kind of kept doing it and eventually ended up at Bonnaroo. We saw this performance, and soon after that we signed to Atlantic Records and kind of did the whole thing. We said, like, I think maybe we're ready to do this thing for real on our 5th album.
It's like a homecoming.
They've always been so kind to us.
Talk to us about this new record. Chris Black changed my life. You got some really great guest features. Black Thought of The Roots, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, Edgar Winter, the oldest of the OGs, Paul Williams. Is it that Paul Williams, or is it a guy that you went to high school with?
Oh my God, I love Paul Williams so much. We are such huge Paul Williams fans. And for everybody who doesn't know who Paul Williams is, I think the easiest thing is Rainbow Connection. But dude wrote songs for David Bowie, wrote with Harry Nilsson, wrote with the Carpenters. You know, he is an all-time great. Dude, he can speak to me about driving his car down the freeway. He literally has, and he has you in tears, just talking about the wind in his hair and, you know, the speed of the car, the sound of the engine, you know, the air, you know, he's just a very poetic, caring, and great human.
He's been in the room with some of the greatest American music that's ever been made. And don't leave off his appearances in Smokey and the Bandit 1 and 2. I mean, that man's acting is pretty tight work as well.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. That's what you see in the studio. I mean, music is capturing a moment for me. Somebody like Paul Williams, he can go into that character and into that space. He's very good at improv and very good at feeling that emotion. I mean, very empathetic person. I mean, and ideas flow through him. It's an incredibly rare gift. I mean, I've only been in the studio with a handful of people in my life, and we've worked with so many great artists. And I would say there's 2 or 3 that I've ever been in the studio with that do what Paul does.
Chris Black changed my life. That's the new album. Talk to us about a charity event. Chris Black changed my life, and Francis changed my life.
So the album is really about community, is about family. Chris Black was somebody who really changed my life. That's a person who has meant a lot to me. I want to talk about people who have changed our lives. I want to hear people talk about people who have changed their lives and really talk about these people while they're here. And the person in my life is Frances, is our daughter, she was diagnosed with a neurodegenerative disease about 2 years ago called DHDDS. And it took us months to figure out what DHDDS means. Like, we know nothing. All we know is there are 6 people in the world with this specific disease form of DHDDS. There's a slightly larger group of 70 people, and in 7 billion, that's not a lot. It's Parkinsonisms, it's seizures. We've finally gotten seizures under control, tremors, and it's scary to watch your kid go through this stuff. We have a fundraiser for her set up because our system is just not built for this. It's not built for research. I mean, and my whole goal is with our platform, let's try and make this stuff accessible to folks. If I can't pay for it out of pocket with a song as massive as Feel It Still was, like, we got that Grammy sitting on the shelf and it's unaffordable for people.
Wow.
If we can further research in these areas, drug repurposing and genetics, I mean, I can tell you the power of genetics. We didn't know what it was. So our kid was just falling down, having seizures, developmental delays, like things that were being misdiagnosed as ADHD or spectrum. It wasn't that. Genetics gave us, pinpointed exactly what it was.
We're behind you 100%. John, you can get more at chrisblackchangedmylife.com/donate. The new album from our favorites, Portugal, The Man. John Gourley, thank you so much. For old time's sake, will you get the high part of Feel It Still for us? Could you?
I can get the
John Gourley, lots of love from 91X Marty and Danielle.
Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you.